Renault Duster Generation 1 from 2010 to 2013. The Renault Duster is an entry-level soft-roader built by Dacia and rebadged as Renault for emerging markets. This model was first unveiled in production form on December 8, 2009. The parent company Renault wanted this SUV to be an affordable and clever choice for the small SUV segment. Based on the BO platform like the successful Logan, the Duster will ride higher with a ground clearance of over 200 mm, which is about 7.9 inches, and take advantage of 4x2 or 4x4 drive systems. Engine-wise, the car was fitted with a 1.6-litre petrol unit developing 110 horsepower and a 1.5-litre diesel with 85 and 105 horsepower respectively. Generation 2 from 2013 to 2018. For 2013, the Duster was refreshed with a new styling, highlighting its rugged crossover SUV with more character. Since this is a budget car through and through, the changes aren't that radical, but they will be liked by the customers. New headlights have been added, featuring the same shape but a new design with added daytime running lights. The car also received Duster-labeled roof bars with slated supports and a new 16-inch dark metal alloy wheels equipped with mud and snow tires. Round the back, the only change is seen in the slight refresh of the taillights and a chrome tip for the exhaust. Here's where it gets exciting with Generation 3 2018 to current. CBBT was lucky enough to attend the global unveiling of the Duster at the 2018 Paris International Motor Show. The new Duster is built on the same platform as the Nissan Qashqai, X-Trail, Renault Kadjar, Renault Koleos, and comes with more efficient engines. Question is, will the new generation Duster triumph over its entry-level rivals such as the Hyundai Creta and Suzuki Vitara? Let's find out.
So guys, this is the key to the Renault Duster second generation. This particular car was designed to be a bare basic point A to B crossover, but now with the stiff competition from the likes of the Hyundai Creta and the Suzuki Vitara, things have changed. What has Renault done to enhance the offering of the Renault Duster? Let's start with the design. As you can see here, it borrows heavily from the Renault family, the V-motive design. You've seen it on the Koleos, on the Kadjar, and of course, the Kwid, which we'll be reviewing very, very soon. Slated grille as well, as you can see, corresponds with the quadratic lights, give this car that style that the French so have, that je ne sais quoi that we all desire from a French car. And of course, the chrome grille completes that premium offering. As you can see, the bumper is two-tone, just to denote that off-roading capability, and you'll see it at the back as well. And of course, the boot lip is raised higher up just to ensure that you have enough ground clearance, and Mr. Miregi is going to take this car off-road and give you the full advice on this particular car's abilities. Moving over to the side profile, as you can see, Renault have managed to maintain the basic design of the Duster but have enhanced it with a few things. As you can see, this cladding that is on the front fender runs all the way to the door seal, all the way to the back, giving this car that athletic stance and off-road ability. As you can see here, the Duster as well, and blasted on this roof rail as well in a two-tone color at the front lip and at the back. As you can see here, Renault have also done something similar. They've changed the lights now, they are more square and rectangular. And of course, it's a cross design, giving this car that unique look at the back. And of course, the gray on the rear bumper gives this car as well that athletic stance that you also find at the front. And that's what Renault have done, giving this car that easy eye on the feel on the eye, making it look very good and very pleasant. That's it, that's the design. I like it. It's been refreshed, it's a proper refresh, but inside, have Renault done the best to ensure that the cabin is much more plush? Let's find out. So guys, step inside this luxurious cabin of the Renault Duster, and I can tell you for a fact, Renault ain't playing. Now let's start with the center console. As you can see on top, we do have aircraft style vents that are very classy and gives this car that look. And obviously, as you can see, the main design of the dashboard, it's a one piece, and it's a forward cabin design that allows you to have enough space at the front. Right below the vents, you do have a multi-touch color display that houses the radio, climate control, and navigation that actually works in Kenya. I'm going to leave that to Mr. Miregi, who's our resident tech expert, and he's going to give you a lowdown on this Renault R-Link system, which is very, very brilliant. Actually, the maps actually work properly in this town, in this country. Now, right below the screen, actually, you do have aircraft style buttons as well. So you have your ESP, you do have your parking assistant, so much more. Of course, this design gives this car that difference, because most of these crossovers don't have that kind of design. And I below it do have
the climate control system, which actually is very innovative. It's 3 circular knobs, but in between you do have a monochrome display that now shows you the vent direction, the AC circulation, and of course the fan speed, which is very unique and actually saves space. It removes that clutter that you probably find on many other cars. Now moving right below the instrument binnacle, that's where the magic is. You can keep your phone and many other things.
And of course you do have the gearbox console, which doesn't have anything, doesn't look overly cluttered, and it's just, you know, designed to just have the job done. There is no center console, which I think Renault have sacrificed so that you can have enough space in between the 2 seats. Now moving over to the instrument binnacle, obviously you do have a redesigned instrument panel. Obviously in the middle you have a multi-information display that houses different types of settings, so you can tell the distance, the range, and of course you do have the temperature settings and any other function that is vital for the driver, which is very, very important. The seats, comfortable. As you can see, I'm very comfortable. Gone are the bench seats that it had earlier, basic seats, but this one are ribbed and actually very supportive. It even has an armrest so that you can enjoy driving this particular during long distances. And of course, you do have plenty of leg and headroom, and obviously you can adjust the steering as well based on your preference. Tilt and telescopic, just to make sure that you are very comfortable while driving this car. But the biggest question still remains: 1, how good is the infotainment system? 2, is there space at the back seat? And of course, do you have enough storage space to carry your luggage? How flexible is the car? Join us. Mr. Murik is going to take over and give you an analysis of these particular features only on Cars with Big Boy Trev.
So like Trevor mentioned, this car comes packed with technology. This is no longer the car that was just a rugged off-roader. They have tried to do some stuff to make this more practical for the millennial, because younger and younger people are using these cars and we have demands for technology that we need. So starting over here, we have the Media Nav Evolution system. It's a pretty familiar system for anybody that's done anything with Renault. So everything over here is showing you on the menu. You actually have the USB at the top here and auxiliary in at the top. There's a 12-volt socket at the bottom there, just to make sure that you have power for the people in the front. So this system has a very interesting driving ecosystem, because like Trevor mentioned, this is also a car that has been built to ensure that you have fuel efficiency. So the car can actually score you on how well you drive and give you tips on how to drive better to conserve more fuel and to make sure that you have this car for longer, running as smoothly as it possibly can. In addition to that, this car actually has navigation that is built in with maps that work in Kenya. You have a very nice music system actually that's pretty loud and very powerful. In addition to that, this system also helps you to manage some of the safety systems within the car. Key among them being the multi-view camera. So you actually have a camera system in here that allows you to see all 4 regions of the car, the front, the rear, and the side. That really helps you when you're going off-road. In addition to that, it has hill departure control and hill start assist. So let's check out the back to see how much space this has for the passengers and any stuff that you want to carry. Coming around to the back of the Renault Duster, and you can see there's quite a lot of space at the back here for rear passengers. This seat is set to Trevor's driving position. He is 6'1", I am 5'9", and I have a lot of space for my knees and for my feet under here. One of the things that's very nice about the back seat over here is that the transmission tunnel is very small, so 3 adults can sit here very comfortably. One of the things that changed from the first to the second generation is the seats, and these seats are very comfortable. I think Trevor mentioned them in the front over there. In terms of storage space, you have 2 cup holders available to people over here. There are door cards in the bin, and there's a very interesting storage solution in the front seat, just under the front seat, to make sure that you have lots of spaces to put stuff. In the back over here, you have a 3-point safety belt for the person sitting in the middle, so you can actually have 3 adults sitting here, and you have ISOFIX points for child seats in both of the outboard seats of the back seat of this car. So let's check out the back to see how much it has for stuff that you want to carry when you're going out and about. Coming around to the boot of the Renault Duster, and this has one of the largest boots in its class. That class, of course, being small compact SUVs. This has 436 liters of capacity, or 350 if you have the 4x4 version, because the off-road 4x4 technology in the back eats into the space over here. One other interesting thing is that the spare tire is actually fitted under the car like you would do in a pickup. Looking at the inside, it's a very wide and deep space that allows you to put quite a lot of stuff, with tie-down points and a 12-volt socket at the top over here. But let's take this on the road and see what Trevor has to say about its driving dynamics. This week on Cars with Big Boy Trev maintenance segment, we discuss the importance of fitting a Sump Guard to your car. Grey market imports from Japan, the United Kingdom and Singapore have minimal ground clearance. This could expose vital vehicle parts like the oil sump, exhaust system and fuel lines. A hard rock or protrusion could easily damage the sump, causing oil leakage that could lead to catastrophic engine failure. To protect drivers from such risk, the Sump Guard was devised to protect the sump by shielding it with a high-strength cover. This is an anti-corrosive plate which fits the chassis of the car under the engine to protect the engine sump and other ancillaries such as the exhaust or downpipe. If you happen to buy a low-slung car like the Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Audi or some Japanese cars, it is imperative to buy a full-strength Sump Guard to protect your car from damage, especially if you don't want to raise your car due to center of gravity issues. This can be made from either high-strength stainless steel or a tough plastic resin that is resistant to heat, corrosion and impact. The plastic resin versions tend to be used by German vehicles and are a bit pricey due to their low weight, high strength, great build and great design quality. This protector will shield the sump from any debris on the road, while holes in the protector still allow ventilation to come to the sump. Experts insist that using high-grade stainless steel to protect these parts, as it is easy to fix and mold, giving them adequate protection from impact and rust. In some cases, the Sump Guard is also used to protect the fuel and brake lines from damage, as many cars have these vital lines running underneath the chassis away from the engine. This week on Cars with Big Boy Trev, we discuss Kenya's best budget cars for 2020, the Honda Fit. The Honda Fit has been in the market for 10 years and has gained popularity due to its bulletproof engine and drivetrain that hardly breaks down. It is fuel efficient, with buyers choosing engines with 1300 or 1500cc and having a hybrid option also available. The Honda Fit returns an average of 5 liters per 100 kilometers and has the most practical cabin in its category, with the fuel tank under the front passenger seat for more room in the boot and a magic seat rear seat system that folds flat to create more room in the back. That said, it's in the middle of the range between the three contenders and costs an average of between 700 and 750,000 shillings. The Toyota Vitz. The Toyota Vitz has also been in the market for over a decade and has a huge following due to its Toyota nameplate, which represents reliability, fuel efficiency and great resale value. It comes with a choice of either 1300 or 1500cc engines with fuel efficiency averaging 5.1 liters per 100 kilometers. It is the safest vehicle in the lot, having received a 4-star Euro NCAP safety rating for passenger protection. It comes loaded with 6 airbags, ABS and vehicle stability control. In terms of maintenance, it's the most affordable with spare parts readily available. Service costs between 8,000 shillings for minor service and 17,000 shillings for major service. It's the most expensive of the lot, with the price ranging between 800 and 900,000 shillings. The Mazda Demio. The Mazda Demio is the best designed budget car in its class due to Mazda's Kodo design philosophy that exudes fluidity in design and harmony. The use of striking color palettes and loads of technology sets it apart in this segment. In as far as efficiency is concerned, its 1500cc engine delivers decent performance and returns an average fuel economy figure of 5.6 liters per 100 kilometers. In terms of maintenance, its parts are readily available and minor service costs 7,000 shillings, with major services coming in at 17,000 shillings. If you're in the market for a Demio, it will cost you between 750 and 800,000 shillings.
Today we are driving the Duster again, but this Generation 2 Duster has a lot of bells and whistles that has made it a formidable entry-level crossover that somebody might desire. But let's start with the power. Now up front you do have, this particular one actually has a 1.5 DCI diesel common rail injection courtesy of Renault, and it produces 110 horsepower, 90 kilowatts, and 230 newton of torque. That when you push it, it gives you some decent, it's some good grunt. And all that power is sent to the front wheels courtesy of a 6-speed CBBT gearbox that's on the Renault-Nissan Alliance. You probably found it as well on the Nissan X-Trail, and of course the coolers that we tested earlier on. This particular car will do 5.8 liters per 100 kilometers, which is very good, considering that Nairobi is an urban jungle, so there's plenty of traffic, there's plenty of good spaces where you can gun it. You're able to enjoy this particular car. But that said, the feeling on the road is well done. We drove the first generation some time back, and I can tell you from the suspension department that Renault have done so much to ensure that it remains very steady even on tarmac. The front McPherson struts is actually trying to keep the nose down, and at the back we do have a trailing arm suspension that also allows this car to be very steady on these sharp curves. And of course, even if you turn it down like this on sport mode, it is still very responsive. The steering is sharp and precise, it's hydraulic, and of course allows this car to become very, very enjoyable, especially when you're driving. I actually love this 1.5 liter turbo diesel because it's got so much power and grunt. For 1.5, this one can easily, you can enjoy short runs, short bursts, and of course because of the torque delivery, 230 newton of torque is not a joke. But when it comes to safety, you want to ensure that you and your family are safe. So what happens? So this particular car has a mix of active and passive safety features. By now you know the drill. Active safety features are the ones that prevent you from having an accident. So anti-lock braking system, ESP, and of course many other traction control that allows this car to literally have the ability to stay away from trouble. But if you run out of talent, then you can rely on the multiple airbags that are strewn across the cabin, and of course the safety cell rating of this particular car dissipates impact energy away from the safety cell, keeping you and your family safe. But remember, the most important thing that you ever need is what? A safety belt. And of course that's ISOFIX anchors to ensure that you're able to put your baby seat at the back so that your babies and your kids remain safe. Now we're going to do a test, and Mr. Mirigi will become the captain of the ship as he takes this particular car off-road, and we see the ground clearance, how the suspension plays about, and of course the comfort, and then finally give you value for money. Stay tuned. Guys, with Big Boy Trev.
So this car is sold in very many variants, and you can choose in between each of the 6 variants depending on what you want. So there's a 4x4, there's a 4x2, there's an automatic transmission, a manual transmission, and then you can choose between diesel and petrol. The car we are driving right now is the car that we think is the one that most people are going to buy, which is the 4x2 diesel. So what you get here is a very great combination of fuel efficiency and still some capability. So although this is not the full 4-wheel drive version, this still has great ground clearance, about 210 millimeters of travel, and it is fitted with, of course, now better tires which allow it to do this kind of off-roading. So we've taken it out here into a bit of a off-road test track which simulates what you would be doing if you were going up country. If you had to go off the road to go visit your shosho after the quarantine has been lifted and carry some stuff, then this is exactly what you'd be doing. So there's a lot of space in the boot, so there's a lot of stuff that you're going to be carrying, and we are taking it to a place where it's a bit tricky. The other key thing to note is the fact that this has a multi-view camera system, 360-degree camera system that allows you to actually see exactly where each wheel of the car is, and it allows me to put the car specifically where I want it to be. So let's take this back on tarmac and check out what it has to offer in terms of value for money.
So guys, we've tested the Duster again, and I can tell you for a fact, it has grown on us. Since the time we saw it at the live launch at the Paris Motor Show, it has become one of our darlings on this particular show, and we can't wait to sample even the next generation. But, Mr. Mirigi, how much does this car cost?
Well, this is very interesting because you don't get this a lot with other models of cars. This comes in a very wide variety of cars, which is not something that you see generally in showroom cars that are sold in Kenya. So it depends on whether you want this car 4x4 or 4x2, whether you want it diesel or petrol, and whether you want an automatic or a manual. So there's a very wide range of cars that are available, but prices for this start at 2.7 million shillings for the 4x4 automatic petrol, and will go all the way up until the top of the line 1.5 diesel manual. That's a 4x4. But what we have tested today is the car that we think most people are going to buy in the market. So the best of the range, the pick of the range, and that's the automatic diesel 4x2. That gives you basically the higher ground clearance and the great fuel efficiency.
And of course, an amazing cabin.
Incredible.
Guys, and the warranty also comes, the 300,000 kilometer warranty, courtesy of Caetano Kenya, and you're able to service this car and maintain it to the best of its ability. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on Cars with Big Boy Trev. As always, it's an honor. If you have any questions, comments, or queries, don't hesitate to write to us as seen on the social media handles below, and he'll get back to you next week. Well, starting out, this is Big Boy Trev.
This is Mirigi. Drive safe
and be safe.